we're back. It's Beer Reactions, and I'm so pleased that you could join us for another episode. My name's Paul.
I'm Jono, and this week we're going to be looking at 2 more brewery beers.
Excellent.
So, what have you got?
Well, shall we unveil the ale?
Let's unveil the ale.
Ready?
You ready? Make sure it don't tip over like it did for me last time.
Okay.
You ready? 3, 2, 1,
go.
Woo!
Ooh, right. What have you got? Tell us, Jono.
What have I got? Well, for you, Paul, this week I have Jakehead Supercharged IPA from Wylam Brewery in Newcastle upon Tyne.
Oh, give us a look at that can.
Yeah, you look at that, Jakehead.
Jakehead, I like it. I like it. Very good. Okay.
Do you want me to talk about it now? Shall we? Do you want to tell me what you've got?
Well, let me tell you what I've got.
Okay.
I have for you, Jono, a beer from Brew Toon Brewery in Peterhead in Scotland, and it's called Wee Hammer, and it's a kind of modern take on a Scottish heavy.
Wow. Is that like the 80 shilling beers that they used to do? Yes. Right,
Indeed.
very good. So, Jakehead IPA.
Tell us a bit about it.
Right, Jakehead IPA. Now then, this is from the Wylam Brewery, which originally started out in Wylam. They've moved to Newcastle now. Because
Right, so where's Wylam?
Wylam is Northumberland.
Right, okay, so north of Newcastle, towards Scotland.
Indeed.
Northumberland in the area that was formerly part of Scotland, I believe. Not that we're empire
It's
building.
been battled over many times over the centuries, hasn't it? Northumberland. So it was founded 20 years ago by 2 guys, John Boyle and Robin Layton. They started out in a potting shed.
Brilliant.
Brewing beers. 20 years on, they're now in the Palace of Arts Exhibition Park in Newcastle.
Wow.
It's one of the last buildings that were left over from the exhibition that they did in 1929, the North East exhibition.
Okay, got you.
That was supposed to celebrate art and craft and industry and things like that during the Great Depression. So the brewery is now in there because obviously they expanded to an extent. They're now a 30-barrel brewery.
Okay.
And they produce numerous beers, and they've also got a tap room in there. So it'd be nice to go there and have a look at that. Now, this particular beer, it's a supercharged IPA.
So does that mean it's strong?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. I'm assuming supercharged because it comes in at 6.3% ABV.
Right, okay, good.
Now,
so, but not a double IPA?
No.
Supercharged, so it's
just
a SEPA.
Supercharged. If you could rev it up, it'd go. Now, the tasting notes for this say it's a citrusy, fruity, light and crisp pale ale, rich, bright, amber bronze with lots of American hop aroma. Distinctly bittersweet on the palate with a massive hop complexity fashioned deep within the IPA tradition. Now, the ingredients, I've been waiting for a reply, but unfortunately I don't think
did you ask them, did you?
I did, yeah. But what I have managed to find out about it is that the hops in it are Citra, Centennial, and then it says Chinook T90, Simcoe T90, and Citra T90. But I suspect the T90 bit refers to the time when they put it into the boil. Because it says Citra twice, Citra and then Citra T90. So I think the T90 bit means that at 90 minutes.
So that means they've gone straight in at the very beginning of the boil. Yeah.
And then put these in at the end of the boil. The T90s in at the end. So I'm very interested to see what this one will taste like.
Oh, so you mean, because I would think T90 would mean it goes in at the start of a 90-minute boil.
Well, I don't know, that's what I'm trying to find out, but it does list others. It says Citra Centennial, Chinook T90, Simcoe T90, and then Citra T90 as
well. So they could maybe go into the whirlpool at the end, possibly after a 90-minute boil, perhaps.
Could indeed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Well,
so the another interesting thing about this, it's got a nice bit of artwork. You feel that?
That is lovely. Yeah. I felt those kind of textured labels on tins before.
And it's designed by Real Eyes, realeyes.co.uk.
Right, okay.
So I'm assuming that's an art company of some sort. So but all their cans have got nice bits of artwork on. A bit like the
Farewell Tangerina, which was from Remind Us which brewery that was.
Northern Monk. Yeah. So there's some good stuff there. So over to you. What's yours?
Okay, so this from Brew Toon Brewery in Peterhead, which is the most eastern point on mainland Scotland.
Is it really?
It is. Yeah, no, I didn't actually realise that. So they create bold, adventurous craft beers, and they try to use local ingredients wherever they can, and a lot of barley being produced in Scotland, so I would think up that was probably a lot of barley. They've only been brewing for a couple of years. They were established in May 2017.
So only 3 years old then?
Only 3, well not even 3
Not even
years
3
old.
yet.
And they've got a tap room in Peterhead, and a quick look at the tap room website last night. They've got 8 beers on tap, all their own beers, and they do homemade pizza as well, so what's not to like about that? So,
did you bring a homemade pizza, Paul? Did you bring a homemade pizza? Do you know, I don't ask much from you, do I?
Do you know, we've come to the brew shed straight from work, and I am starving.
Yeah, I am as well.
So we must be careful not to partake of too much ale this evening.
The brew shed, of course, has a temporary tap over the top of it to stop it raining in. And it is raining currently.
It is, well. But we're staying dry, which is great. So let me tell you a little bit about this beer. So it's called Wee Hammer, and it's their take on a Scottish heavy, and John said already, so that's a kind of 70 shilling or 80 shilling style beer. And interestingly, friends of the show, Rick Shaw and Andrew Lynch, have made a couple of 80 shilling homebrew videos recently.
They didn't send us any of them today.
No, they haven't.
Come on,
Rick, come on, Andrew. But their videos look great, so they're worth checking out for sure. So it's interesting that we've got a similar kind of beer here today. So although this has been forged in the traditional style, Brew Toon say they've brought it kicking and screaming into the 21st century. So for a start, it's 7.5%. Now that is really unusual for this style.
And you didn't bring
beer.
a pizza.
Secondly, it's been aged in bourbon barrels.
Wow.
And thirdly, they are using modern hops as well. They're using Chinook, and also a hop I hadn't heard of before called Mount Hood.
No, I've not heard of that.
Which is an American hop.
So we've got 2 beers here. They've got Chinook.
We do, that's right.
That's
so in terms of the other sort of ingredients in here, in terms of malted barley, we've got a Marisota, wheat, a crystal extra dark malt, golden naked oats, chocolate malt, amber malt, and black malt.
So there's a fair whack of stuff going on.
Fairly complex.
Yeah, sounds
recipe.
like a good recipe.
So I've really no idea how this is going to taste. I'm expecting with the Chinook and the Mount Hood hops that we might get perhaps some grapefruit or some spice, which would be quite unusual for the style of beer. But with it being aged in the bourbon barrels as well, I'd maybe expect some caramelly bourbony flavours coming through there as well.
Warmth in that, yeah.
So really looking forward to trying that one.
Okay.
So
let's get pouring.
Let's get pouring.
We'll do the Jakehead first,
Do the Jakehead. So,
go on.
I was just going to say, the name Jakehead, does that refer to, in Scotland, the JK is somebody who lies about the street drinking lots of beer and is generally sort of drunk most of the time. Is that the same in Newcastle? No?
I don't know. No? I don't think so, but I don't think you'd call a beer after that one. Yeah. You'd be like calling it tramp.
Right, let's hear that magic.
Ooh, nice. Look at the genie there.
The genie escaping there. Oh, lovely.
Right, are you ready?
Okay. Oh, lovely colour. Oh gosh, I can smell that already, John.
Yeah, that's got a good smell. It's a good citrusy smell there.
Looks really nicely carbonated.
There's a bit of cloudiness to it. It's almost like a New England IPA.
Oh yeah, that has got a lovely kind of sort of. Oh, I can smell peach. Definitely getting some peachy aroma from that, and the colour also very peachy.
Looks good, smells good.
Yeah.
I'm impressed so far, Wylam
Brewery, this does look really good. Could maybe use some bigger glasses there, John.
No, with that.
Oh, there. Oh,
there,
fabulous.
Look at that.
Fabulous.
So I'll just set that back down
there's
there.
a bit of sediment coming out of that last
yeah.
pour, actually. Yeah,
so
it's can conditioned.
Oh, that looks like an NE IPA, doesn't it?
That smells absolutely terrific. Definitely getting peach.
Peach, mango.
Very peachy.
Yeah.
For me, actually, do you know, it smells a bit like, do you remember like Kiora diluting juice? I don't know, do you still get Kiora? I don't know.
I don't know if you used to get that in Picture House, didn't you, when you used to go to the cinema in
or like, like diluting juice.
But there's definitely peach, mango, and there's almost a slight pine, a little pininess at the back of that then.
Oh, that's really
aromatic.
So in terms of clarity, it's very cloudy. I guess maybe in terms of ingredients, maybe there's some oats in there, maybe some wheat in there, I don't know.
Now, all it says, and that's just because it's got an allergens list, is barley, gluten and wheat. So I'm assuming there's obviously wheat in there, there's obviously malt in there, but we don't know which ones.
Oats then.
But I did send him an email to ask him, but it was a bit late going, I think. I just got time to reply.
But there's definitely no fruit added to this, no. So that peachiness is very much
all
coming
from the hops, yeah.
And remind me, it was Chinook, Citra and Mosaic, was it?
It's Citra, Centennial, Chinook, Simcoe, and then Citra again at the end of the boil.
Okay, let's get in there and have a wee taste.
Oh, that is lovely. The peachiness and the mangoiness is there at the beginning. There's a slight maltiness underneath that. And then you get that sort of citrusy sort of bitterness at the end.
Do you know, for that style of beer, that is really, really well balanced between the kind of peachy mango flavour and the bitterness. It's a really nice balance, and that can be hard to achieve sometimes, I think.
I think these beers are hard to do anyway, these sort of any IPA style beers. You know, it does say on the tasting description that it's rich, bright, amber bronze with lots of American hop aroma, which is definitely there. It's slightly dry afterwards, actually, I think. There's a dryness to it. Once you've swallowed it and you leave it for it, there's that stickiness that you get.
Yeah, there's a slight dryness.
And it's quite dry. It makes you want to have another taste.
Which is not a bad thing, is it? Wow.
Yeah, that's good. Nice.
It's difficult to say any more than we've already said. That peachy flavour really punches, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Or sorry, peachy aroma and that, or peachy mango aroma really, really punches.
Again, if you sort of a sniff of it and then have a drink, and then you get that aroma at the back of your nose as well. It's really good. That fruitiness really does come through on there. It's beautiful. It's almost like a thick viscosity to it.
Isn't it amazing what hops can do in terms of aroma and flavour, isn't it?
Amazing.
Absolutely incredible.
Yeah, well, I'm very impressed with that. I like that. I mean, I have had Wylam beers before.
Have you?
I've never had this one before.
Okay.
But I have they've started canning the beers now, but I had Wylam beers when they used to bottle them. But they were just standard IPAs and brown beers and things like that. So this looks like it's something that they've gone into. They've expanded the range, I think, a little bit on this. That is really nice.
That's really nice.
I'd have a few of them.
Actually,
with caution.
With caution. Yeah. What was the alcohol content?
6.3%.
6.3. Now, I said earlier on that the balance between the bitterness and the fruitiness was very, very good. But the more I'm drinking, the more the bitterness is starting to come through.
It lingers for a bit, doesn't it? Once you've had a few mouthfuls.
And maybe that's part of that kind of dryness as well. But I mean, it still is a really well balanced beer.
So, scoring then, what do you think?
Well, before we get scoring, I'm just going to ask.
I'm married already. Too late. You're too late with your ring.
I was going to ask, are there too many of these styles of beer on the market now?
Well, do you know, it's funny, I was just thinking about that this morning when I was looking into this particular beer. And the raft of like any IPA style beers that are out there now, it's almost like the market's awash with them.
That's right.
And it almost seems to me it's almost like it's pushing traditional beers sort of out a bit. They're getting the noses pushed out a little bit. And as much as I do like these, well, you know that I do like those traditional beers.
Yeah, absolutely. And why?
I'm not saying I don't like hoppy beers. I don't really like an IPA hoppy beer, but to me that traditional beer is the brown style. You know, the brown beer that you used to get in a pub when, you know, in the Flagstone floor, if you used to go into Yorkshire Dales when I was 20 years younger.
That's right. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm really pleased that beer has moved on in such a kind of positive way over the last,
the variety
5
is
or 10
fantastic.
years. The variety is absolutely incredible now. But I think there's room for everything. There's room for craft beers, there's room for real ales, and there's a bit of, craft beers can be real ales and vice versa sometimes too. But yeah, there's definitely a huge explosion in this style of beer. Although, I mean, you won't often get this on tap. These sorts of beers.
To be honest, I don't ever. Apart from little specialist pubs, most of your sort of town centre pubs don't tend to do this sort of stuff. it's still only your main big brewery lagers.
Yeah.
You know, the big commercial, you know, million hectolitre beers.
Yeah.
So, I think that's a really good beer. I do like these sorts of beers.
Scores on the door,
7.
That's exactly what I was going to give it. And I think the reason I've not scored it higher than a 7, and don't get me wrong, 7's a high score.
7's a good score out of 10.
Great score. But I mean, and it does this type of beer and does it really, really well. I suppose from a beer taster's perspective, that, you know, there's so much of this style of beer out there at the moment.
It's difficult to rack it against the competition, isn't it, without everything there as well. Yeah,
absolutely.
Indeed. But that's a fantastic beer, Wylam.
Yep.
Well done. And I can't wait to try some more of your beers. That'll be really good to do that.
Well done, Wylam Brewery.
Sláinte.
Okay,
so
shall we crack on?
Let's crack on.
Okay, let's open this wee hammer. Okay, let's see if there's a wee genie in here, shall we?
There is.
Oh, not much
There's
genie, but
one. There's the little one there.
Little one. Out you come, little genie. Okay, now just remember, this is a kind of taking a Scottish heavy.
It actually looks a bit stouty, actually, that, doesn't it?
It's very brown, as you would expect. Now, you may be able to hear my phone in the background.
Do you know, what did I say about turning phones off in the studio?
Rookie
error.
Rookie error. Goodness me.
Never mind.
Will
it ring again?
If it's my wife, it probably will.
Yeah.
Now, interestingly...
Well, you're not actually supposed to be here today, Paul.
That's right. I said I was just nipping out to the shops. Yeah, that's a bit cloudy.
Yeah, you nipped out to the shops and didn't actually get a pizza.
Yeah.
That is it. I think you've got down to the sediment there. That's another, I'm assuming, bottle conditioned beer.
Yeah. No. So what do we think of this then? Let's give it a little sniff. No.
Sort of toasted malt. Just move that pen out of the way.
There is a slight kind of sort of, is it like a kind of pineapple-y?
Yeah, there's a bit of a grape, a sort of grape must there as well. It's sort of you get that. It is toasted malt flavour. Just
gonna hold it up to the camera.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys at home can see that.
Not much head retention. I'm surprised. I thought just normally for these sorts of beers you do get a bit of head retention because I'm assuming that there'll be roasted barley and probably. I don't know, torrefied wheat or something in there as well.
And oats as well, which can be good for head retention. Although saying that, I noticed when I was watching Andrew Lynch's 80 Shilling video last night on YouTube that his beer didn't have much in the way of head retention either.
That's not a criticism, Andrew.
So should we give this a taste? I mean, we'll just recap in terms of aroma.
It's got toasted, it's very dark toasted malt flavour.
I'm not really getting that in terms of aroma, but I am getting something slightly citrusy.
Yeah. That's sort of strange sweetness to it.
That is. Oh, that's really unusual.
Yeah, it's almost like gooseberry or rhubarb. In a way, it's a sort of acidic. It is a fruity sweetness, but it's not. It's almost like your apple style fruits. It's not citrusy in that way.
It is.
It's like a bitter apple flavour.
It is. Yes, that's exactly what it is.
It's like you've just bitten into a sort of like a tart apple, but then you get it's also mixed with that sweet maltiness. There's not much hoppiness to that. Really, it's not. You're not getting that strange. It's not that bitter. As you know, normally you get sort of these heavy beers are quite bitter.
It's almost like a sour. There's a sourness coming through, isn't there?
It's like a sour IPA.
Now, I think this is not one of their. When I was looking at the website last night, Brew Toon have got I think they've got 5 or 6 beers that are their staples that they brew all the time, and then they've got a load of kind of seasonal beers that they do, and I think this falls into that sort of latter category. So I think it's a bit of a one-off. But in terms
I like that. It's unusual. It's nothing like I expected it to be. Because I've had a few of these sort of 80 shilling beers before. None of them are like this, really.
No, I mean, it doesn't taste like a traditional 70 to
They're usually
beer.
more malty than that, without much bitterness.
Maltier, yeah, that's right, without much in the way of bitterness. There's not much in the way of bitterness here, but there is definitely a kind of sourness, like that kind of sour apple flavour that John was.
There's no lactose in there, is there?
No.
No. That's a good beer. I like that. It's unusual.
It's not really doing it for me, I have to say.
It's all. You know, it's a strange thing to say, but I almost feel like if I had my eyes closed or blindfolded, I would probably think I'm drinking a scrumpy.
Yeah, I might think the same.
You know, like a proper cloudy scrumpy.
Gosh, now there's a good idea. What about doing a kind of blind taste test one night?
Yeah.
That would be really unusual, wouldn't it? What are you drinking?
I don't trust you enough.
Okay. So what do we? I'm really confused. I'm really confused by this beer. It doesn't kind of meet my sort of expectations at all.
Of a beer.
Of a Scottish brown ale, which is.
It's quite heady, as well. I'm feeling a bit of headiness from that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not tasting the alcohol in that at all whatsoever. It's very smooth from that perspective, but perhaps that kind of sour apple is kind of disguising the.
If anybody's ever been to a wedding, and I'm sure a few of you have been, it's like that fourth or fifth glass of champagne feeling to it. So it's got stickiness to it, and that sort of sweet tanginess that you get from champagne.
Do you know, that's what it is. It's like white wine.
Yeah.
That's what that flavour is. It's not sour apple. It's like a white wine.
Yeah, it is. It's like fizzy, like a dry brut.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely.
Fizzy white wine.
That's really well noticed, Jono.
It's like you've had your fifth glass of Carver.
That's right.
I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but is it for a beer? It needs something, I think, to bring it back to tasting more like a beer. It needs to be either maltier or just slightly more bitter.
Yeah.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. It's a nice beer, but I personally like it to just be a little bit more bitter, or have more malt to it.
Definitely needs something to kind of balance that sourness, I think.
Okay, scores. You go first.
I'm afraid I'm going to give that a 4.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's not my favourite style of beer. That sour beers aren't, and it is a bit sour, so I'm going to give that a 5.
Okay, so 9 out of 20.
Indeed.
I mean, Brew Toon, you know.
These are just our opinions. I'm sure.
This is no disrespect at all whatsoever. It's a really interesting beer. But for me, it's quite a challenging beer as well. I think
it is heady. I can feel that. The headiness of it.
Definitely like a tart white wine. So it's a really unusual flavour.
It's getting me at the back of the eyes.
Back of the eyes. Yeah. Oh dear. Right.
The heaviness at the back of the eyes.
I think we're going to have to take a break. Let John will sit down for a minute.
Did you bring that pizza?
Okay, great. Okay, thanks, Brew Toon. That was a really unusual beer drinking experience. So thank you.
Sláinte.